Well, as you can see, I started to inlay the stars into my rosette. I'm about through with putting the main ablam pieces in, but I'm going to catch you up on how I got to this point. First off, I routed out the main field where the black was inset, the ebony. I first do this by routing it out into another board. Here, I'll give you a look. This is where I do my first routing and layout. This is where I routed out the first ream, and then what I did was I inlaid ebony pieces into the main ring as the field, sort of like, and then I routed out the center strip to give this distance, and then I cut my gold. I have a band of gold shell here. I place the gold shell pieces in, and I pin it in with this very small pins into position. Once that's pinned into position, I go back with CA glue and glue on this outside seam. Not going all the way up to the stars, because the stars, they're just sitting in there now, and I don't want to glue them in there at this point. But so I'll take the CA up to this, about where that pin is, and then I'll glue those pins in, or those strips of gold in. The gold and also the radiuses, all these radiuses was cut on my jig that I used in the bandsaw, my radius cutting ablam jig. You can see the other YouTube for that. But once that's glued, then I remove the pins. And then I'm ready to inlay these pieces, which I also cut. And also, when I cut these pieces of shell, they're at it's not at the proper angle. So what I do is, I'll show you on this one. I'll take the shell, and here there's a piece of gold already in there, and I would put the raw piece in there, and I would cut it on the bandsaw. Radius jig there where this would go up, and I would this piece I would cut her on the jig. But I take this off here that slides. If you watch the other YouTube, you'll see that. But I take this board and I line it up on the fence, and then this, and then I would have taken this piece put it in there till it would be just extending over, and then I saw it. I just saw it off. So I use that as my angle. That's another use for that board. Then also what I do is the joint between the shell right here is pretty tight. So what I want a line to be formed there, so what I do is I trace the edges of the piece that I want to establish a line with black magic marker. I'll pull this and you can see. Let's mark the edge with black magic marker. So when the CA, I use CA to glue it in. When the CA goes in there, it'll either take on the color of the black and form a line. Right here I have between the shell and the ablam 10 thousandths fiber, black fiber. So now all I have to do is I'll fit fit the piece. As you can see, what I do is I take that word match in the middle, and I take a square file or a triangle finger file, and I just file that corner in, and then file one on the other side and match up the butt splices and continue around. And then I fit the fiber into the edge groove. There's a piece I filed. I just keep putting it in and checking the fit. That looks good. Now I'll do the second one, and then I'll install the fiber. So I have the pieces fitted. I have one piece of fiber in, and then I just take the fiber. This is a little bit of a roomy fit, but that's okay. Push it forward. Now, take a razor blade. Get where I want to do it. Mark it. Then I'll cut it. There it is. Then I'll just take and I'll just finish up the job. And then when this is all in, I'll CA glue lightly all this in and level it out. And then proceed with the outer rings or the rest of the rosette.